Hi guys, so today I want to share another story with you. Today I want to talk about, is Basketball Wives star Evelyn Lozada at fault for the Tami Roman and Jennifer Williams feud, plus a quick recap review of last night's episode. So this season on Basketball Wives, you basically have two major feuds going on. The first and more serious feud would be the whole Scott family. That would be with Kristen, Cece, Byron, and his son. That's one major feud. And then the second feud would be what I call the Petty Betty feud. And that feud would consist of Evelyn falling out with Jennifer, Tami, and OG. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a lot of cast members for one person to fall out with. In other words, why is Evelyn the common denominator of all of those feuds? I mean, is Evelyn the toxic one here? I mean, come on, people. Is toxic Evelyn the root of the problem? I mean, I'm not saying that she is. What I'm saying is it's starting to look that damn way. Because let's look at the facts, people. Tami and Evelyn have been on the out since these two met each other. Supposedly, Tami was upset because Evelyn slept with her ex at first. That was the first 3 years. And then it went into, we don't even know why we're mad. We just hate each other. Evelyn has called Tami every name in the book. Tami has called Evelyn every name in the book. But all I know is if we just stick to facts here, people, just stick with the facts. And the facts is now that Tami is not going around Evelyn, she has not shot one scene with Evelyn. Tami has had the best year I've ever seen on television. She's got her fine-ass little man, Reggie. You remember, I think Reggie's cute. She's got Reggie. She's got her girls. And they just seem happier and like one big happy family. Tami has not pounded not one person's head into the cement this season. I mean, maybe Tami's onto something. Maybe the best way to handle toxic Evelyn is to not handle toxic Evelyn. Just leave her on the island over there by herself. I mean, it really is a damn shame that Jen didn't get the memo. Because instead of leaving her alone, Jen decides to take her little trembling ass over to where Evelyn is. They were at some damn eccentric crystal place that Jackie invited everybody to. And basically what it all boiled down to is Evelyn asked Jen how come she didn't apologize to Shanice. And Jennifer came back with the excuse, it's because she's become a defensive person ever since her mother passed away. Then toxic Evelyn gave the heartless response that was just an excuse. She was tired of Jen talking about her mother and using her mother as an excuse. Then Jennifer started crying, insisting that no, that actually was the reason. Then toxic Evelyn got up, walked out the room, leaving Shawnee there to hug little crybaby Jennifer. Now listen, toxic Evelyn, I do agree with you. This could be an excuse. But I don't think I've met anybody dumb enough on the planet to just say it straight out, because you are dealing with the death of her mother of all people, and people grieve in different ways. It's very well possible that Jennifer's grief turned her into a liar. But I don't know anyone with the gall to just say it straight out. I mean, no one but toxic Evelyn, that is. Now, of course, the whole thing ended up with absolutely no resolution in sight. I mean, did anyone expect anything different? This is why I call this a recyclable problem. It just goes on and on and on. And since these two don't want to fix it, neither do I. Let's move on. Now let's talk about the other major problem going on this episode, and that would be the Scott family. This is sad because we are watching a family disintegrate. They are falling apart, and no one's really tapping the real issue as to what's really going on. So this episode, Byron decides that he doesn't want Kristen at his wedding. He wants his son there, but he doesn't want Kristen there. And instead of going to Kristen and letting her know how he felt, he decides to tell Cece, who decides to tell Evelyn, who then decides to tell Kristen. Now look, I'm not the biggest Kristen fan to begin with. I really do think she talks too much and starts too much drama. But with that being said, I mean, to get excluded from a wedding is just unfair. It's crazy. When especially, I don't even think Kristen is the root of the problem. What's the root of the problem? It's Byron. I mean, let's just be real here, people. I'm going to be real so nobody else is. Your children, your two sons and your daughter, are pissed at you because you left their mom, you divorced their mom, and allegedly is engaged to the alleged side piece. That would be Cece. He allegedly had an affair with Cece before the marriage was over. Now, even though all of that started back in 2013, I believe it was, and you and Cece have moved on and showed that you guys really love each other, and at times, Cece's very nice. I like Cece. But for your children, the feelings never got resolved from the past. The adult children never like the new wife, especially under the circumstances in which Cece came into the family. They're going to always feel like their mother got the short end of the stick. What part don't you get, Byron? And you're really not helping things by not spending quality time with your son and his wife, Kristen, and really talking about some true underlying feelings that's going on here. And somehow the children, including Kristen, are taking their hard feelings out on Cece. Cece had nothing to do with the way Byron decided to end his marriage. And I'm not even saying that Byron had to stay in the marriage with his first wife, who was his college sweetheart. No, all I'm saying is those feelings weren't resolved. And all of these feelings are getting misdirected towards Cece. Kristen expects Byron to fix things between Byron and his son. Byron expects Cece to pass the message on to Kristen that he doesn't want her at the wedding. You've got the daughter London giving Cece the cold shoulder, and it's just one big mess. But it's a mess because of one person, and that's Byron, in my opinion. Byron needs to sit his son down and have a real conversation. Let the son ask you, why aren't you coming around anymore? Am I not good enough? And don't blame it on superficial things like, well, I have to pay for your dinner every time I come over. That's insane. That's not the root of the problem here. Because maybe your son has to get used to the fact that things have changed. And now I have a new life, a new wife. That doesn't mean I don't love you anymore, but things have changed. I'm not going to be coming over every day anymore. Maybe it's something as simple as that. But instead, Byron decides to divide the family, a husband and a wife. He wants to take his anger out on Kristen and still try to be in good with his son. That's not going to work. This family needs to sit down and have a heart-to-heart conversation initiated by Byron, not Malaysia. So that's my quick recap of this week's episode of Basketball Wives. So what I want to know today in my comments section is, who thinks Evelyn's just a toxic person that loves drama? And who thinks Byron needs to solve his family problems, not Malaysia? Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification button for more stories like these. Until next time, talk to you then. Bye.